Natural light this time. That's a bit weird. So before I start this video properly, I just want to say that there will be spoilers in this video. So if you want to watch Fast X without me spoiling it, then yeah, just don't watch this video until you've watched it. Watch the movie and then come back and watch this video. So yeah, just a little bit of a disclaimer for you guys. Right, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the actual video. Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Elliot Webber and welcome back. Well, of course, welcome back. But yeah, again, something a little bit different from my regular TCR and BTCC videos. A few weeks ago, you of course, hopefully, would have seen my rankings of all of the 9 mainline Fast and Furious movies. Of course, that actually received very positive feedback. So thank you guys for watching that. As long as it was. Now, if you hadn't seen on Twitter, I revealed that I would be giving my thoughts to the Fast X movie, which I watched a few days ago. Yeah, let's get straight into this. Starting it off, much more positively, overall, really liked it. I really liked this movie. Of course, I was half skeptical but half looking forward to this because of course if you have seen my rankings, you would have seen that you would know that I put the 9th movie at the very bottom. I did not like this movie, the 9th one that is. I did not like it one bit, to be honest. I rewatched it and yeah, was not a fan at all. So yeah, I was really pleased with the outcome. Well, not the actual outcome of the movie, but well, just the product that it produced. Let's give it like that. I'm trying to talk like I'm a film critic, but I'm not. Yeah, anyway, so what I liked overall, the movie was really good. I think it was, yeah, as I mentioned, 10 times better than Fast 9. It was a massive improvement. It was genuinely, it felt like they just sort of took out the bad. It felt like Fast 9 again, but just taking out all the bad parts and incorporating much better parts. This movie, yeah, as I mentioned, was much better, 10 times better than F9. I will get into where I rank this movie at the end of the video. So yeah, so overall, good movie. The stuff I liked, first of all, Jason Momoa. 1000% was the best character in this film. Of course, his character Dante, the son of Herman Reyes, who was the villain in Fast and Furious 5. So Fast 5, of course, we know how good that movie was. So yeah, it was really intriguing to see Dante on Shantae. Spoilers, as I mentioned. It was really intriguing to see his growth and how he carried every single scene. The character and also Jason Momoa, it's just every time you saw him, I just couldn't help but smile because he was stupendously funny, but he also had a very good balance between being very, you know, very he was very passive aggressive, which I think sort of helped the movie a bit. You know, of course, we know Jason Momoa being quite an intriguing character anyway, behind the scenes of movies, but yeah, his character on screen was the best part of the movie by quite some margin. 1000% Dante was the best character, as I've already mentioned. Yeah, every scene he had, he felt like he belonged, and he, as I mentioned, he just owned every scene he was in. But yeah, as I'm going to say, he had a great balance between, you know, being very friendly and very passive, between them being very aggressive and very brooding, and you can tell he was very, very psychotic. He was an unpredictable character because even though, you know, sometimes he'd come off as, oh, hey, how you doing? He would then switch it up straight away and just go, he could go from I love you to I am going to kill you, which was, yeah, I love the unpredictability of his character, which I think is what helped me continue to watch this movie, because as I will mention, there was a lot of stuff, again, that I still did not like. But anyway, staying positive. Again, another person I liked in this movie, funny enough, was John Cena. I absolutely loved John Cena in this movie. I think he was, John Cena cannot play a villain. I think that's something we have established after watching F9. John Cena cannot play a villain. He's too positive. He's too much of a baby face, using the WWE talk. Yeah, he's too much of a good guy to dislike. Like, you can, I honestly do not know anyone who unironically dislikes John Cena. He is such an amazing person outside of WWE and outside of movies, that it's very hard to dislike him, which is why I think it's very hard for him to play a character to dislike. So I think that's what the movie did best, is they just went, he's a good guy, so let's just have him as a good guy. He didn't have much to do. He had to look after Little B, or Little Brian, in this movie, which wasn't too bad. You know, Little B and Jacob Terrell, John Cena, had a very, very good chemistry. They just worked off of each other, and it was really good. The comedy in it between those two, again, was great. So overall, it was Jason Momoa, John Cena, and Little B who sort of carried this movie. As for Vin Diesel's performance, it was a very typical Vin Diesel movie, I think, or a very typical Vin Diesel performance, I should say. There wasn't much emotion to him again, like there was in 8 and 9. But again, I don't think he needs that emotion just yet. I think we will probably see a lot more emotion in Fast X Part 2 or Fast 11 or whatever it's going to be called when the movie comes out in 2025. So yeah, Vin Diesel, I think he did okay. You know, this definitely was not his worst performance, but yeah, it wasn't his best in the franchise. That's all I can really say about Vin Diesel. As for Roman, Tej, Ramsey, and Han, a little bit different. I'm going to start off with Han. It looked like the actor Sung Kang did not want to be there. He looked incredibly bored, and yeah, Han, the character, was not given anything to do in this movie. It looked like he was just there to be sort of the wise old man, as it seems like his role now in the group. He seems to be that wise old sort of an advisor, let's say, to Dominic. It's more like he is the Maurice to Dom Caesar. If you've watched Planet of the Apes, you'll know that reference. Yeah, as for Han, he wasn't given much to do. Again, really disappointing. And speaking of Tokyo Drift characters, the lack of Lucas Black or Sean or Sean and Twinkie, the lack of them was really disappointing. You know, you brought back two of the most beloved characters in the franchise in Fast 9, turned them into scientists, and they were just nowhere to be seen in this movie, which felt really disappointing. Whether or not the actors could not come back, that could be the reason why. But yeah, extremely disappointing to not see Sean Boswell, or to not see Lucas Black and Bow Wow come back for Fast 10. Hopefully we can see him once again. Yeah, but as for the trio of Roman, Tej, and Ramsey, I mean, they are the three comedic trio of the crew. I think Roman was the best character of the three. Again, Roman, we know, has sort of been that comic relief character, but he actually had a few more serious scenes in this, which I think, you know, it's very much his character from his first outing in Too Fast, Too Furious, where he could be a comedic character, but also he is still very, very, very serious, and he's more time serious than he is comedic in the second one, which is why I think they need to go back to that, in having how Roman can be a comedic character, but also that can't be the only thing about him. There has to be a bit of a deeper story to him, which I think there was. You know, in the 9th one, there was a scene where he talks about how they could be invincible, which in Fast and Furious, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. But yeah, it did seem like the Roman and Tej are now almost, of course, they're basically like a brotherhood now. Of course, they met in the second one, and they've sort of every scene that Roman and Tej in, they always seem to just be the stars of those scenes. So yeah, again, much like the brotherhood between Tej and Roman, but again, I don't like Ramsey as a character. I like Natalie Emmanuel as an actress, but as a character, there's nothing to her other than she's smart and she's a hacker, even though we've already got a hacker in Tej Parker. So it just seems like that she's only there to be sort of completing the triangle of Roman, Tej, and herself. Yeah, that's disappointing because it seems like she's only there so there can be like this weird love triangle. Yeah, again, not a big fan of Ramsey as a character. Now, some other actors and characters that I like or didn't like. The ones I liked, Alan Ritchson, I can't remember his name, Ames, I think his name was. He is now essentially leading the agency that Mr. Nobody led. Of course, Mr. Nobody played by Kurt Russell, hasn't been seen since a little cameo in Fast 9, or multiple cameos in Fast 9, because of course I do believe he was kidnapped by someone, I believe. I'll have to watch Fast 9 again to know. Yeah, Alan Ritchson's character, my oh my, as the movie went on, he became better and better, because when he was first introduced, it just seemed like he was another big buff guy that was there in the movie, but no. Oh no, the twist at the end, that, spoiler alert here, the twist at the end that he was actually working with Dante in the movie was very surprised. That was, I genuinely had my jaw dropped when that twist happened. It was extremely unexpected, to be honest. So yeah, Alan Ritchson's character as Ames, unbelievable. Of course, he's most famous for being Jack Reacher on Amazon Prime. Yeah, unbelievable. An unbelievable twist. I'd say that. I wouldn't say it was an unbelievable performance. But yeah, Alan Ritchson played his role really well, and hopefully we can see a bit more of him in Fast X Part 2. Now, as for Brie Larson's character, does she need to be there? I'm trying not to talk about Brie Larson. I'm trying to be a bit more impartial. I do not like Brie Larson as an actress or as a person, but yeah, I'm going to try and be a bit less leeway. And yeah, her character seemed, again, really, really dull and boring, and again, pointless. She gave away some exposition to Dominic's character, and that's about it. She felt like the exposition dump in this movie, which again is pointless, because what is the point? Like, why? Yeah, she got shot, again, another spoiler alert, she got shot near the end of the movie. Most likely we'll see Brie Larson back in Fast X Part 2 for what will most likely be the big finale, unless they are doing the trilogy that they've teased. So yeah, and then moving on to another character that has sort of a little bit of a cameo. Jason Statham, he returned to the Fast and Furious franchise in this movie and was only on screen for about 5 minutes. That's about it. I liked how he was very untrustworthy, if that's the word. There was a really good scene between himself and Han, again, or Sung Kang, the actor's name. I'm gonna switch between the actors' names and the characters' names. Let's just, okay, character name. Yeah, it was nice to see Shaw and Han sort of, or reuniting is probably the wrong word, but yeah, they had a great scene together where Shaw thought that Han was there to kill him, of course, after killing but not killing Han in Furious 7/Tokyo Drift. So yeah, they had a really good fight, and then the agency showed up, and then it was found out that Helen Mirren's character, who yes did also have a 5-minute cameo in this, was being chased down by the agency. And of course the movie finally remembered, oh yeah, Helen Mirren is Jason Statham's mum in this, and so Jason Statham then left the movie and just went, let's go dig some graves, or the typical action British, the British action voice that Jason Statham has. So yeah, no doubt we'll probably see him in Fast X Part 2, or even in the Dwayne Johnson solo movie, which I can segue right into the very end of the movie. In a mid-credit scene, no less, it was revealed that Dwayne Johnson as Hobbs will be returning to the Fast and Furious franchise, something that was revealed just before the movie's release, and something that honestly I'm not against. I know some people are against Dwayne Johnson as an actor for his supposedly ruining of Hollywood franchises. But honestly, if we're being totally honest, Hobbs is not a bad character. Dwayne Johnson isn't the best of actors, because all he needs to do is just show up, and it's Dwayne Johnson. It's just The Rock. It's not an actual character. But yeah, I'll be really excited. It's great to see Dwayne Johnson come back to this movie. or to this franchise. Again, I'm going to keep talking about it, but it does get me excited for Fast X Part 2. Whether or not that will be the finale or whether or not we will get a trilogy, yeah, it's going to be something to see. And also, again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier on, very excited to see the Dwayne Johnson Hobbs solo movie. Whether or not that will actually set up the finale or it will be set after the final movie, I do not know. But yeah, it does seem like, overall, it seemed like that this movie was the Infinity War of the franchise. Of course, Infinity War being the end of the Infinity Saga in the MCU. So yeah, so to call it the Infinity War of the franchise isn't a bad thing as it might sound. I know I said in my rankings video that recently these movies have just become superhero movies. With this one, that's not too bad because this one was actually sort of a bit more grounded in reality than to Fast 8 and Fast 9. There wasn't too much stuff that was unrealistic. I think the only thing unrealistic about this was the CGI, which again, I don't want to disrespect, you know, visual effects and stuff like that, but this movie had way too much CGI. There should have been a bit more practicality when it came to the stunts and the explosions and the car crashes and stuff like that. And the CGI wasn't too good. But now the main thing that I wanted to talk about, the cliffhanger ending. My thoughts on that. I was disappointed at first, but that is the whole point of a cliffhanger. It's meant to disappoint you, but it is also meant to set up a part 2, which of course that is what we are getting. I honestly was happy with the way that they ended the cliffhanger because, well, as I mentioned, Alan Ritchson's character Ames, of course, did a bit of a switch, and he is a villain in the franchise now. He shot an RPG, I believe it was, on a plane that Roman, Tej, and I believe it was Han and Ramsey were all on, and that plane crashed. So we don't know if they're dead because it wasn't confirmed, but they might have just killed off four characters. And then they, of course, the damn explosion that was in the trailers, that was right at the end of the movie, and it had teased that maybe Dominic is going to die in this franchise. They didn't show that, so my guess is Dominic is still alive. I highly doubt they'd kill him off straight away. They would at least save him for the finale to be killed off. But yeah, very excited. Honestly, I'm happy with the ending. But who likes cliffhangers? Let's be honest. Who actually likes cliffhangers? But yeah, anyway, that is the end of the video. Those are my thoughts on Fast X or Fast and Furious 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Have you seen the movie yet? What were your thoughts on the movie? And are you excited for Fast X Part 2, which I believe is releasing in 2025? Again, Universal, hit me up. I need that sponsorship. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new around here, be sure to like this video, share with your mates as well, because it, of course, does help my channel grow. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. And also, stay safe out there because it is incredibly hot at the minute in the UK. I'm actually sweating right now by how hot it is. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
I'm Dante. Enchanté.